Today, we're diving into a piece of software that's making a pretty bold claim. It's called El-Dosage, and it's not trying to be just another church database. Nope, it's aiming to be a full-on operating system for ministry. So, what on earth does it mean to be a ministry OS? Well, let's get into it and see what that's all about. Right at the core of this whole thing is a really different way of thinking. The goal isn't just to be a digital filing cabinet for names and numbers. The idea is to create a tool that actually partners up with church leaders. Moving from a passive thing where you just look stuff up to an active partner that helps you get the work of ministry done. This slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old way of doing things, a static filing cabinet. It holds info, sure, but it's disconnected, it's cold, it's all about the data. But on the right, you have the ministry OS idea. It's active, it's all integrated, and this is the most important part, it's people-centric. That one idea is the bedrock for everything else we're going to look at. So let's start with the heart of the system, which is how it thinks about people. And this is not just about a member list. We're talking about building what they call a living profile for every single person in the church community. And just look at the kind of detail we're talking about here. This goes way, way beyond a name and an address. We're talking spiritual gifts, baptism status, even health conditions and blood group, which could be critical in an emergency. It tracks professional skills, so you actually know who the plumbers and lawyers are in your congregation. And with GPS addresses, you can literally map out your church to organize care by neighborhood. Now, digging a little deeper into how people are connected, El-Dosage has this really unique dual-layer family engine. The first layer is the nuclear family. This is pretty much what you'd expect, right? It maps the direct links between parents and their kids. It's the basic building block. But here is where it gets really clever. The second layer is the household unit. This is so important because it recognizes that modern families can be complex. This feature lets you group multiple nuclear families, like, say, grandparents, their grown-up kids, and their grandkids, who all live together under one roof. So why does any of this matter? Well, for pastoral care, this is an absolute game changer. It means leaders can understand really complex family situations with just a glance. When you're planning a house visit, you know exactly who you're going to see. It gives you a much more real, much more accurate picture of how your community actually lives. The system also creates this incredible timeline for each person, called the Disciples' Diary. It tracks their whole spiritual journey over the years, from their baptism to getting married, to a note from a counseling session, to courses they've completed. For a leader trying to mentor someone, having this kind of context is just invaluable. Okay, we've seen the heart. Now let's move on to the brain of the operation. This is where artificial intelligence gets involved, with an AI assistant they've named Doria. And this is where the software really shifts from just organizing information to actively helping you make sense of it. I mean, just pause and think about that question. So much of church administration is just drowning in manual, repetitive tasks. The whole point of an AI like this is to take on that grunt work, to be a real assistant so that leaders can get out from behind the desk and spend more time with people. And here is a perfect practical example. They call it Magic Minutes. You can literally just dump your messy, unstructured notes from a leadership meeting straight into the system. Doria reads it all, processes it, and then spits out perfectly structured professional minutes. And, this is the best part, it automatically finds the action items and gets them ready to be assigned. That's a massive time saver right there.
Now, check this out. On the left, you've got those messy meeting notes that we've all taken, right? A bunch of jumbled thoughts. You feed that into the system, and with one click, the AI transforms it into the structured, beautiful minutes you see on the right. It automatically pulls out the action items and even assigns them to the right people. This feature alone is a total game changer.
And Doria does a whole lot more than just take notes. She can help you draft official church letters, she can assist with sermon prep by generating discussion questions from a passage of scripture, and she can even look at historical data to help forecast attendance for upcoming services. It's seriously like having a full-time administrative assistant built right into the platform.
Okay, this next concept is fascinating. They call it the spiritual thermometer. The AI can analyze all the prayer requests and testimonies that come in, and without revealing any private details, it identifies the overarching themes and sentiments. It gives the leadership team this incredible high-level view of the congregation's collective spiritual mood. So for example, it might say, hey, there's a lot of anxiety around financial issues this month, which tells the pastor that maybe a sermon on stewardship or faith would be incredibly timely.
Okay, now let's get into the body of this digital organism, the modules that actually run the day-to-day business of the church. This is all the nuts and bolts, the digital command center that keeps things moving. Yeah, you can forget about those dusty old ledger books. This thing completely digitizes all the sacramental records, baptisms, marriages, the works. It's all stored in a secure database that you can actually search. You need to print an official marriage certificate from 5 years ago. It's literally just one click.
Now, the financial module is a full-on, double-entry accounting system, but it has a crucial difference. It's built from the ground up to track non-monetary assets. Think about churches in rural or agricultural areas. It might come in as produce or other goods. This system can actually track that, which is a massive deal for so many communities.
Even something as simple as attendance gets a huge upgrade. This is so much more than just counting heads in a room. Using QR code check-ins, it can tell the difference between a registered member and a first-time visitor. It can even track punctuality, who's on time versus who's late, and give you a live demographic breakdown of the service. All right, so we've covered the heart, the brain, and the body. So let's finish up by looking at what we could call the spirit of the system. These are the features really designed to get people engaged, build community, and help them grow. A really central piece of this is the spiritual wall. Honestly, the best way to think of it is like a private social media feed just for the church. It's a safe, moderated space where people can share prayer requests and testimonies. It helps keep that community connection going all week long, not just on Sunday morning. Now, this is really cool and a super creative way to connect with younger generations. El-Dosage has a whole suite of faith games. Things like Bible trivia, verse scrambles, even little moral decision scenarios. It's using the idea of gamification to make learning about faith way more interactive and, fun. And for all the media teams out there, they haven't forgotten you. There's a presentation console built right in. It's designed to do the job of tools like ProPresenter, handling everything from projecting song lyrics and scriptures to putting up professional-looking lower thirds and announcement tickers for your live stream. And it's all integrated into one system.
Oh man, and for anyone who's ever found themselves in a church media booth on a Sunday morning, this slide is going to hit home. The old way, on the left, is pure chaos. You're juggling 3, 4, maybe 5 different expensive programs just to get through a service. The El-Dosage way integrates everything. Lyrics, scriptures, announcements, even the graphics for your live stream into one single unified console. It's a lifesaver.
This is so much more than just a place to post announcements. There's a full learning management system built right in, so you can create discipleship courses with videos, text, and even quizzes that get graded automatically. It also includes some really unique specialized modules, like an interactive course for shape note singing.
The whole thing really becomes a digital command center for the church office. You've got everything from an internal post office for church mail to digital registers for baptisms and marriages that can generate official certificates with one click. But maybe the most important feature is that it's designed to be offline first. This means all the essential stuff works perfectly even if the internet is spotty or completely down. A vital feature for ministry in countless places around the world.
And this right here, this is the bottom line. Every single feature we've looked at, from the family engine to the AI assistant to the presentation console, it's all designed not just to make administration easier, but to make ministry more effective. The ultimate goal is to free up leaders and empower them to do what they were actually called to do, which is to care for people.
So we'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if the tool you use for your administration wasn't just a necessary evil, wasn't just a chore you had to get through, but was actually your single most powerful asset for doing ministry? That's the huge paradigm shift that a system like El-Dosage is proposing.
So when you step back and look at the whole package, the living profiles, the AI assistant, the gamified learning, El-Dosage is really presenting this big, comprehensive vision for what a digitally integrated ministry could be. And it leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As technology gets smarter and woven deeper into our lives, what is the future for that intersection of faith and technology? That's definitely something worth pondering.